I'm Bobbi Born Medium, and I am live right now. I think I might be alone and live, but that's fine. Um, actually, I was just outside where I live, and if you live anywhere near where I live, or yeah, it's beautiful out right now, and it's very seldom beautiful out on Vancouver Island. I actually even thought about doing this outside because it is so beautiful, but I wasn't quite sure about the internet connection and losing folks and things like that. So I'm inside looking at the outside. Isn't it gorgeous? Hello, Carrie. How are you? It's a sunny day on Vancouver Island. It's such a, well, I say it's such a rarity because it actually is. Yes, we've been having a lot of sun this summer, but we quite usually don't have a lot of sun. So, yeah, and when the rainy season, we don't really call it the rainy season, we just call it fall, winter, and spring happen. Ah, you were at the beach. Ah, golly sakes. It's so funny. That is one of the places that I forget to visit during the summer. It's like, because it's right there. I I take it for granted that the beach is right there because we live on an island. Hello, Garden Hoe. How are you? Carrie Garden Hoe says hi. I don't know if you can see it. Because it's, yeah, the beach. Actually, I told myself this year, I told myself I still haven't completely completed this, that I want to do at the very, very least one touristy thing on Vancouver Island every year. I'm actually, okay, so this is how it all starts. I am going to treat my life as though it is going to end anytime soon, which sounds really morbid, doesn't it? But it's not. It's not actually under a morbid idea, especially since when I die, please don't mourn me. Please be happy for me. Please say, whoop de doo, Bobbi actually achieved her absolute ascension. it grounds me, cleanses my energy so fast. Yes, the beach can ground you and cleanse your energy all at the same time. Hi, Pat. How are you? Because to me, it's the salt water. It's the ocean. It's the vastness of the ocean that you can look out into the ocean just logically and say, holy poop, this is enormous. This is so much bigger than me. Maybe my problems aren't as enormous as I thought they were. The ocean can be wonderful for that. But it's the cleansing of the heart chakra. That's the reason why I need to get to the beach, because I can go there in the wintertime, but I'm from the prairies. Don't like being cold, and I don't get cold on purpose. Maybe it's not a prairie thing. Maybe it's just a me thing. I kind of think it's a little bit of a prairie thing. But I'm not going to go polar bear swim. I have a client, a wonderful, incredibly talented nurse practitioner lady that does that. She goes and dips herself like once a week or maybe every day. I'm not quite sure how often she does it, but in the cold. And that's not my thing. So if I'm going to get my heart chakra all deep, and I want it to be late July and early August, because that's when it's warmest here. And before that, actually, you're getting the spring runoff. So you have snow actually becoming your water. And that's cool, in my opinion. In my opinion. Okay, okay. So the point is on Thursday, I went to a reunion of the people that I had been in the theater program at Malaspina College with. And that was 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago, actually, because I'm 53 right now. And I was, oh, golly sakes, I turned 19 in Kamloops, or did I turn 20? I was really young. I was really young. Anyway, some of these people I have known since high school, and some of them I have known just since that time in college. And I tell you, the meeting up with people that you have known for so many years, where immediately when you re-see each other, it all the time falls away. All the time is gone. The only thing that is really different is that we're in older meat suits, and way older meat suits. And that's where my point comes in, actually. In talking to my friends that were we were not born the same year. We were born the same year. Oh, you and I were born the same year. Okay. 1971. Yeah, I'm going to be 54 in September. Anywho, when we were talking, I found out a lot of health things with my friends. And being what I am and who I am and how well I knew them, there was only one that I actually told the things that I was seeing while he was telling me about his health problems. And he was very gracious about it. It was very rude of me. I do not just suddenly read people, and well, I do. It happens a lot, and I always apologize for it. And sometimes I actually just don't even tell people if I know the person well enough, or if it is so glaring, or if I know they will accept the information. I will tell people. But with most people, it's very rude of me to be talking to you and also looking into you, because that's kind, you don't know I'm looking into you. But sometimes it just happens. And if I know someone and have known them for 30 plus years, I have just found out it just happens. So everyone was telling me about, because we're all in our late 40s and 50s, and some of us were actually even approaching the 60 area. And in that time, your meat suit does start to break down. So just about everybody had a story. And in them telling me these stories, I was seeing things on them. The one gentleman that I did say something to, I had known since high school. We graduated together. And so I have a very, very, very strong closeness with this person, like just excellent connection with him. And so I said it to him. I said what I saw, because he was talking to me about things. And so I told him which chakra I was seeing, because I saw a chakra light up that to me explained some of the physical things that were going on with him. And then I tried to explain a little bit of how possibly it can be emotional, and that is why these things happen, and that sometimes they actually, because it's funny, I could very, very logically look at what happened with my friends and say, oh, okay, well, they're people of a certain age. And people of a certain age, you tend to rot is the word I got, but that's not the word I want to use. Decay, kind of like our bodies start to break down. I think for a couple reasons. One, natural process, because our bodies are actually part of the earth, and things in the earth go in cycles of death. Your soul, on the other hand, in my mind, is pretending to be a product of the earth, because it is just sopped up into this meat suit, and it can go to different places, and it continues and is somewhat eternal. I say somewhat eternal. I say somewhat eternal because I don't know different. Okay, so when things go wrong with certain parts of your body, it can actually mean it can actually go wrong in that part of the body to tell you something else that's going wrong with you. So, say as an example, you are having heart trouble. Now, heart trouble is kind of obvious, isn't it? Is it obvious though? Is it obvious that when you have heart trouble, it could actually believe because there's a lack of love in your life? Or that you are not expressing the love of something that you might need to express, and then suppressing the ability of your heart chakra to actually and be what it wants to be? Now, last week I talked about this on a medication sort of standpoint. This week I want to talk about this on a physical sort of standpoint, because I myself experience a plethora of medical and I guess medical. I'm going to call it medical situations. And I call them situations because whether they are good or bad is all perspective. Completely and absolutely perspective. And this is going to sound horrific, but in talking to my friends, I was like, I'm pretty good. I didn't get that. That was pretty severe what you got. Mine just seems like a whisper now in comparison to the bellowing that just happened in you. But so there's that perspective. There's also the perspective of my doctor. And the perspective of my doctor is I can't find definitive evidence, and you are not complaining about this, and this, which I expect you to complain. So I'm kind of at a standstill of a balance with it. And then there's the third idea. The third idea is that I am not just a meat suit person. Neither are you. None of us actually are. That sometimes, actually all the time, you are 360. You are everything. And every little stimuli that you come upon, that you let be part of yourself, actually affects you in some way, shape, or form. That when you have a bad day, let's say you went somewhere and you were treated very badly, and somebody actually kind of hurt your feelings. So if that happens to you, what happens inside of you? How do you deal with the fact that somebody just hurt your feelings? Well, for one, you could either get defensive, you could feel victimized, or you could ignore it altogether. Okay, so if you get defensive, you are going to create an anger energy inside of you. That anger energy is going to go nowhere but to you. So then you are going to create a negative feeling inside of your own heart, inside of your own tummy, most likely, because your heart is your love and your tummy is your power. Somebody treated you rudely, they made you feel powerless, and they made you feel unloved. So these two spots right here, holy poop, the amount of medical things that could go wrong with these two spots right here. And then that can to all the other spots. There is also, okay, now if you feel victimized, it's a similar sort of thing inside of you. Is it that much different if you're angry or if you're sad inside? Because yeah, one is violent and one is passive. No, they're both kind of violent, aren't they? One is a violence against others and one is a violence against yourself. So if we start to look at those sorts of things, okay, now I'm angry. What do I do with that emotion? And what does having that emotion strike through me do to me? What other things are happening in my body? You get really, really, really angry, and that's a valid emotion. You're allowed to get angry. Take a second and go, okay, where am I feeling this? Where does this hit in my body? And if you'll notice, you might actually notice a chronic pain start to come up again. Or you might notice, hey, I can feel actually my back when I get angry. Maybe my back is a pinnacle point. Maybe right there at the base of my spine, that's a spot where my body talks to me. My body tells me, you are feeling out of balance. You are feeling this. You are feeling that. Now, I use anger because we identify with the negatives so much quicker than the positive. If I say, when you have that sense of joy in your heart, you're going to ask me what the heck that feels like. If I say, when you are so angry, you could rip a person's face off or feel like you could, you know that feeling. You know it immediately. I can even actually visually get to it. Like that. I can. And if I do that with my face, I feel it here. It's almost like my mouth is connected directly to my heart. Okie dokie. Now, Shashinka, definitely agree. My mom has neck and thyroid issues. Oh, I agree with you. It's from her ability to find her inability to find her voice. Catholic school trauma. I couldn't agree with you more. My mother has thyroid issues too. I love you, Mom. I know you're not watching, but I'm going to say it anyway, just in case you ever watch this. I love you. But my mom has had thyroid issues so much that I think she's had 2 surgeries now. Is it 2 or is it 3? Yeah, because my mom never speaks her truth. In fact, she swallows it and swallows it and swallows it and then puts it in a compartment somewhere in her body for later use. That's such an easy thing to do, isn't it? That when someone has wronged us, we stay angry at them, thinking that that's going to make a difference. It's that whole thing. I think I even said it before. It's like waking up every morning and drinking poison and hoping to goodness it kills somebody else. It's only going to kill you. So totally agree. Okay, now the neck, I find that very interesting because, yeah, thyroid, I always see that as the voice chakra, but the neck, especially the back of the neck at the top, coming into the occipital bone. Say that 8 times fast. I actually kind of see that somewhat as, no, I don't kind of see it. I know. I see that as the base where the third eye and the crown chakra are meeting to make their way up into the head. So I actually think it's not only just her inability to find her voice, but it actually might be that Catholicism troubled her ability to find herself. Because that gives me my segue to where we're going. Oh, okie dokie. Pat has a question. Well, I always stop my banter for a question. You're inspiring me to ask what you see about my health. Not saying anything is going on. Upside down emoji. I'm not quite. Yeah. Okie dokie. I actually kind of see it in your sacral chakra. I don't know if that's exactly where you are feeling it, but it might. Gut flora is something that's going on in my head right now. There's something about digesting. Honestly, I actually hear digesting life. I'm not sure that your life is exactly how you would like it to be. I'm not sure that. I'm not sure that you are doing everything you want to do before you die. It's interesting that you came on this one, Pat, because I am kind of talking about this in a Swedish death cleaning kind of way. I don't know if you're familiar with Swedish death cleaning. It's actually a TV show that's on Prime. Is it Prime? Anyway, it's a TV show I watched, and it's a concept. I think it was a book written by a Swedish person, and it might even be a way of life in Sweden. I do not know this for sure. But the idea is that you clean up all of your stuff so that when you pass away, nobody else has to. It's you prepare for your own death. People do it all the time. They make their own funeral services. They create their will. That's preparing for your death. So I actually kind of think it's like 10 things I want to do before I die. I kind of think that you have that same sort of idea in my head, that I have this idea I have got to go do touristy stuff. And I want to do it right now. I don't want to be flying up to the other side, about to go to my internal home and go, oh, I wish I'd gone to sandcastles last year, because I really wanted to go to sandcastles this year and I didn't do it. So I best not be dying today this year. I was going to say today. So yeah, I see it in your sacral chakra. I see it very much as a gut flora thing. Now that could actually be that you have a something going on with your intestinal tract and you are unable to actually get things out a little bit, because that could actually show you itself in a digestive way or in a bathroom kind of way, or pain in the stomach kind of way, or if you are not digesting all of your food completely, your food will actually just stay in your intestines. When you see folks with the very, very large bellies that stick out, very often they have undigested food in there, and that is actually what's puffing them up. Because when our intestines can't get everything out and move everything around, they can actually expel things into other parts of your body. And when they expel those things into other parts of your body, it's because they don't recognize it. It's because they aren't able to process them themselves. So they're like, hey, neighbor, you got something for this? And neighbor never does. It's actually, I believe, one of the reasons I have cysts, because my cysts are my body's way of making little garbage cans inside my body. We can't deal with this, so we're just going to make it into a little ball in here. And my body does that a lot. And I think it's because of the energy and things that I do. So, yeah, speaking of energy, I honestly, all I keep on hearing is that you need to do things that please you. You need to do things that make you happy. You need to live your life as though Wednesday's the last day of it. And that is because, and honestly, too, I can never talk to you without seeing W. He is so prevalent, so strong. I actually even think he shows up sometimes without you here, because I think he helps other people, to be perfectly honest. And that is something that you do as well. I also I'm actually seeing the Comox Valley Rec Center, or it's the Comox Rec Center. I'm seeing a rec center. So I kind of think that you might want to invite a little more leisure, and you might want to find a few more ladies. And that doesn't mean because you're a lady, you have to hang out with ladies. But what I'm hearing is you're a lady of a certain age, so you want to hang out with ladies. Oh, that's okay, because I heard it. But yeah, make yourself happy, and please make that your priority. Try it for a full week and see how the rest of the week goes. I honest to goodness, I heard try it for a full week and then see what happens in the bathroom. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I don't know if that's the actual thing that would release, because that is a way of showing me release. If it has to be like a toxin that you sweat out or that comes out of the epidermis, they're not going to be able to show it to me like that. So they'll have to show me you releasing in a way people actually physically release. So it could be that, but please know that also that everything is symbolic and metaphoric and all those sorts of things too. So I hope that helps. Yeah, thyroid pain is a pain in the it's a pain in the neck, pain in the throat. I want to know, is it painful? When you have thyroid difficulties, and raise your hand if you do, or if you know someone who does, and I know someone who does, and actually what it does is it imbalances on my mom. She calls it, what does she call it? I think she calls it her episode, something like that. But she's not going to use that same sort of terminology that I use. I'm not even going to ask her to. And I wouldn't ask anybody to do that. Spirituality is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing in that, as long as you go into it with the idea of do no harm, do no harm, do no harm. Then you can go full throttle into spirituality in the way that speaks to you because it's completely and absolutely individual. And to my mind, I actually believe that's how we started this all together. And I honestly believe that some folks got a little out of hand, and that is why organized religion came in. I do. I actually kind of see um, positive reasons uh, for organized religion to be introduced into the spiritual pagan kind of mind. Uh, Only because I have to see everything within a balance. And when I can see everything within a balance, then I am able to know it better. Because the more we look at things as, okay, yes, yes, yeah, like good, flip flop, yin yang, balance, teeter totter kind of way, then um, oh yeah, it is messing with your weight. It's okay. My thyroid nuked my thyroid in 2014, and so happy I did. I had the hyperthyroidism. Okie dokie. Yes. Okay. So nuked your thyroid, meaning that you what's that? What is that called when you have cancer? Radiated. That you radiated it. Do you mean actually nuked? I'm just curious. Nuked is a term that my aunt uses, meaning that it was cooked in a microwave. I always Anyway, so okay, let's go to that point. My mom with her thyroid condition, with the episodes, with the out of balanceness, because that's what it is. It comes out of balance. I believe when these episodes happen to her, she's actually having psychic messaging. Yep. 100% believe that because I believe everyone is psychic. Of course you are. I'm not special. I'm just old. I actually think I'm just so dang old. I've been doing this whole soul thing for so long that I know what I am right from birth. That I came in going, oh, I'm here again. Which I may have actually done. I have no conscious thought of that. My conscious thoughts are of being the victim of my own brain, really. But now as a 53-year-old, I don't see it that way. I see it more as a opportunity for growth inside of the meat suit, if that makes some sort of sense. So if you have a thyroid condition, this is your throat chakra. Are you speaking your truth? Because it's not just about speaking up. It's about speaking your truth. And it's not just about speaking your truth to others. How could it possibly be? Because your spirituality and you actually exist somewhat in a vacuum. Yes, other people are part of your collective, but they are part of the collective. You are one individual piece of a collective. You are connected to everyone, absolutely, but you yourself are a complete and absolute individual within that collective. And the way you receive spiritual stimuli is different because each and every one of us experience it differently. We all absolutely do. So, hard and fast rules on your spirituality might actually hinder your ascension and your spirituality and your spiritual growth and your connection to your own spirituality. It's yours. It's only yours. It's nobody else's. So, if you have a thyroid problem, it's kind of possible that you came here to figure out a way to find your own truth within you. I mean, I'm going to keep using my mommy as an example because I can, because she's my mommy. And she's my mommy, mine. So I came out of that woman. We shared a meat suit at one time. And I didn't explode her. So she has to have the capacity to have that much psychic energy within her. And when she gave birth to a child that was like me, knowing what I was like, because she had to experience it because it was glaring and it was big, and they actually had to come to some sort of terms. My mother actually had me come to her as a little girl with my grandmother. I don't want to say possessing because it does sound very omen. And I can't say with my grandmother inside of me, with my grandmother sharing my meat suit with me, with my grandmother going, get out of my way, little girl. I got to talk to these old people. Anyway, because that's what she did. And my mom knew this. And my mom knows what I am. And my mom knows that I am born medium. Yet, Does she listen to my advice about regulating her chakras? No, no. And that's why she keeps having episodes. And that's why it's still there and it hasn't regulated itself. Because once she regulates this and gets this balanced, kaboom, her third eye will open up. Are you picking up what I'm laying down, ladies? If you start to look, I did a radiation swallow, a radiation drink. Huh? Do you gargle it and keep it all in there? Or does it go down the esophageal and then that actually creates the. That's interesting. I actually hear that it eradicates it. Yeah, because it was a coagulation of bad energy for you. I'm not sure if you had a cyst or if you had some sort of growth within your thyroid, and that's why they had to do it, or they were saying your cells are getting together and they're starting to riot or something like that. Because everyone has cancer cells, like we have cannabinoid cells. We want our cannabinoid cells to meet and be friends, and we want our cancer cells to be a lonely friend guy all over the place because you don't want them meeting coagulating with each other, huh? And actually, you know what? They want me to center on you, tiny bit garden hoe, about what was, because now are you experiencing something up and around here? Are you having sinus difficulties at all? Because I'm seeing there's an awful lot of energy inside of you, like an awful lot. Like I can actually feel it going up my nose. I would even venture to say that you actually might experience some headaches around at the top of your occipital bone. I could be wrong, but yeah, I'm not sure that I am. And if it doesn't actually come as physical, it does look like they talk to you in a physical, but it might also be confusion. It might also come in a mental sort of way where because when I look at you, I'm not only looking at you, I'm looking at your name. When I look, it reminds me of when I was little. Because when I was little, I believe very, very, very strongly that the reason everybody came in going is a couple different reasons. One, I believe very strongly that the dead are actually on a different frequency than us, and we actually can have to rise ourselves to that frequency. Two, I believe that they were too fast for me. My brain wasn't ready yet to accept the type of concept it was going to be given, which is kind of interesting because I really, really feel that children, you can teach them anything, absolutely anything. Their brains are like tiny little computers that have the capacity for things. Emotions and things like that. That is a process of growing. That's like a glandular process, it seems. That's why it's a maturity level to get to certain things like sex or other sorts of concepts. I do not really read children. I especially will not. Yeah. I find sometimes they can't handle it. I read a little girl once who had lost her dad, and I felt awful after. Actually, I felt like I had actually added to her problems, because I felt it was too much too soon, and it was more than she could stand, and I really felt like I blurred lines for her. I didn't feel that she had the maturity level to accept what was happening. So I actually asked that kids usually be about 13, unless I know them really well and they know me as Bobbi rather than me as the medium, that they've never met me in any other way. So I really believe that as we go through life, jeez, Lou. It's like I'm trying to make the same point, but I keep going. Like I'm like a spider web trying to get through it. Oh, well, that's me. Hello. Yeah, that's who I am. I personify ADHD, but I do not believe I have ADHD because I believe it's because I have so many spirit guides. I believe it's because I'm so psychic. I believe actually that's why there's such an uptick of ADHD right now, because everyone's getting turned on. Not like that, Carrie. Everybody's getting turned on in a way that our psychic centers are going flip, 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 flip. Yeah, I picked out the crowd, Carrie. Sorry about that. Anywho, okie dokie. Thank you, Freya. I love the idea of Psychic Saturday forever so far too. Okie dokie. There we go. You have a lot of sinus problems in the past, but okay right now. Okie dokie. Yeah. Well, what are you doing? Okay. So I'm going to use you as an example. Okie dokie. Okay. You had a lot of sinus problems in the past, but you're okay right now. Is there something different in your behavior right now? Are you actually answering your calling? Are you actually, do you believe you have over 20 fruit trees? Are you walking amongst those fruit trees right now? Are you feeling the roots of those trees under your feet while you are picking the fruit that those trees are growing for you and saying, thank you, tree, and eating that? That's pretty third eye opening. Believe it or not, that's pretty third eye opening because it's natural, because it's kind of what we're supposed to do. We are here to have an earthly experience. Stop ignoring the earth. It's crazy. No wonder you have to keep on coming down here. You keep forgetting the main cast and characters here. It's Gaia. It's the Anna. It's the flora. It's the fauna. It's all of that. That's what we're here to experience. And all we try to do is actually run away from it. And I honestly think that's why everyone's so sick. I think that we cannot run away from our psychic energy anymore because I think we actually already know about it. And we have no choice but to know about it because the children that are being born now are more psychic than you. Your children, you might think, oh my gosh, I've got one of those ADHD kids. 88 kids? 88, 80. I got one of those kids. Crazy kids. I can't control this kid. There's something more going on with this kid. This kid isn't anything like a kid I've ever met before. Your kid might be more psychic than you ever have. So you got to figure out your psychic ability so you can help your kid. Because that's actually what's going on. We are evolving. And okay. And I love this. Girl, I see it like that. My mom doesn't listen either. And she's a tarot reader. Oh, she's a tarot reader. Oh my God. I had to pull back to protect my peace a little bit. She's a tarot reader, that naughty monkey. Well, that's why, too. Because she knows. She knows she knows. It's like with me. I have a cyst wrapped around my brainstem. Blah. Golly sakes, I don't think of it. I try not to think of it in those logical, earthly kind of ways because then it scares the living daylights out of me. But it's not that uh, I see it as my inability to accept my entire psychicness. That's what I see that as. I actually think that all the cysts I have are little stoppages where energy was coming up because I actually think it comes up through our feet or up through our butt. And like where our tailbone is, up through our butt there, and it travels up our body. Travels up our body. Does that remind you of anything? I believe the two snakes come from your pelvis and move their way all the way up your body to here, and then your crown chakra and your third eye can open up. Now, I work with my crown chakra and open eye and third eye every day. I admit completely and absolutely that I am psychic. I know I am psychic because if I'm not psychic, I'm insane. And if I am insane, so is every other person that comes to me because they say, when I say things to them. So I'm aware of this, but the magnitude of my psychic ability is something that I cannot seem to accept because for so many years I have apologized for being psychic. I'm a psychic apologist almost because the lack of acceptance, because I want to make it easier for other people sometimes, because I know I make people uncomfortable. I'm fully aware of it, but I also know that they're psychic like I am. They just have their heads up their tuchus. Okay, I'm going to go to more of your things. Yes. My daughter is psychic powerhouse and it's hard to keep up. Yeah, but you're not even keeping up. The only thing is that she has you for a mom. And that's nothing against your mommy. You know that. It actually has to do with being open. Is my children chose me as a mother because their souls knew that when neat and exciting things happened with them, I would help them capitalize on it. I would work with them on it. I have never told my children they are not psychic. I have never told my children that their psychic energy is something they have to work towards. I have always told my children that their psychic energy is latent inside of them and it moves everything that they do because that's the way it is. Because not every person's supposed to do this. That would be crazy, right? Not everyone's supposed to be a psychic reader. But if you are a police officer, I wish there was a police officer on here looking to get into their psychic energy, because if you are a psychic police officer, then you could actually take down the energy of things a little bit easier because you'd be able to see where it's coming from and what it is. This is something that we as a society are completely missing. And I honestly believe it's why so many of us have to go to our doctors and go, make it all stop. Please put me back into normal. Please take it all. But sooner or later, the medications aren't going to work like they were, because that psychic energy is going to come through, because the psychic energy is natural and it's supposed to be there and it'll find its way. It's like your immune system in that kind of way. Okie dokie. um, Sorry. Okie dokie. Yes, I think I may have missed some comments, so I apologize. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Okie dokie. Okay. I'm gonna go with you, Freya, because I popped you on there and I should. Uh okay. Yes, I'm struggling so much right now. I am sure my psychic energy is wiping me out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. I get the overwhelming kind of feeling. Yeah. Okay. And okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so it can actually kind of depend on who you work with, Freya, or who you hear. And the rudest ones out there are the dead, because they are still kind of humanish. And I kind of think, yeah, huh. But then at the same time, it's not that. It's overwhelming. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing, that your psychic energy is a lot to take in at once. It's almost like every all the yeah, all the forces of it said, okay, let's just all hang out right outside her temple and wait till everyone's there. Now go. Like everything is happening. That might be the only way you pay attention to it. That might be the only way they can get you to go, what is going on, is when they overload you. So you actually might want to set some precedents. Okie dokie. I don't know if you're a schedule-y kind of person, but they're showing this like a schedule-y kind of thing where oh, okay. When I meditate, that's when you talk to me. When I'm doing this, that is when you talk to me. Please talk to me here, because that's the way you're going to get through to me. They actually want to get through to you. They really want to get through to you. So if you tell them, if you set out parameters on how they can get through to you, then they will actually follow those parameters. I have certain things when I do readings that are symbolic and they mean things. And I was actually just telling this to a client. I said, it's a chicken and egg thing. I don't know if they started implanted the idea in my head that when the dead want to say yes to something, they will put their finger on their nose. They won't nod, because that's a little too ambiguous because of the way I see. So they will do this and put their finger on their nose. And that's why I know it's on the nose. We are right. That is a yes. So I don't know. I often say I tell them to do this, but I am not entirely certain that I made that up. I am not entirely certain that they said, okay, let's get, because I often say when a dead person comes to the door to come and talk to their loved one through me, they will have a sheet of paper that says, your medium today is Bobbi. Bobbi's symbols are blah, 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 blah. And then they know actually how to communicate to me to get their point across to you. So, and that is because I am setting the pattern. There's something about Thursdays with you. I have no idea why there's something about Thursdays. I actually want to say it Thursday at 8 o'clock or 7:15, which are vastly different. They're 45 minutes different, but that's when you want to go, okie dokie. This is my download time. This is when you guys can come in and you can tell me things in an orderly fashion so I understand them. Do not overload me. Do not do this. Do not do that. Do that with them. And actually, don't do the do not do's. My apologies. Tell them what to do. Do not tell them what not to do, because they do not go in the knots. They go in the do's. So if you say, do not do it on Friday, they're going to be like, she said, do it on Friday? Yeah, she said, do it on Friday. That's what's going to happen, because they run on the positives. So give them the positives, give them the parameters for you, because it's your spirituality. It's your journey. You're the one down here trying to ascend. They're the ones up there in the Happyville trying to help you ascend so they can ascend even further. That's what I believe spirit guides are doing. I believe that spirit guides are actually assigned to each soul, trying to help that soul go through it, because they are trying to ascend themselves and they are one up of that soul. One up. Yeah, I see. It's not, I say hierarchy. It's more of a time. Look at me with this microphone, eh? It's more of a time period thing, because it's like, my sister has a difficulty and she was saying, tell dad to get on help, fixing this. And I said, I think we should go to his mom. I think Almeida, because she's been over there longer. And my sister thought I was being morbid. She thought I was being like, we make fun of death a lot in my family because we experience it so much. And that helps you to get through it when you can make fun of death. So she thought I was kind of making fun, I think. But it's actually completely true. And my grandmother entered my body and she wasn't even dead. She wasn't dead. She was in a coma. So that's what I come from. Okie dokie. Now, okay, Newfie. Hello, how are you? ADHD? Nah. High functioning intuitive resonance. Oh, I like that. HFIR. Doesn't kind of say high functioning intuitive resonance. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And okay, anyone out there who has an ADHD diagnosis right now, do you think possibly you're the one with it? You're the one dealing with it. You're the one who has it going on and on and on and on in your head. Could it be psychic? Could it possibly be? Okay, yeah. See, I just about said, could it possibly be higher beings communicating with you? And then I sound insane, don't I? I sound like I'm crazy when I say that. If I went into the mental hospital and said to the ADHD people, I believe there are higher beings that are trying to communicate with you. And that is why you feel so scattered. That is why you feel so confused. That is why you can't seem to get anything done because other people are actually talking in your brain and distracting you. Because that's what I believe. Because that's what I believe. Because that's what's happening to me. And that's actually what I believe ADHD is. I actually think it's a little bit of an open crown chakra. I'm saying this out loud on a video. But that's what I think. And that doesn't mean it's true. Because I'm just a psychic on YouTube. And I'm a psychic on YouTube. This is my theory. And this is my theory that I'm putting out to try to help people. And I'm not going to tell you to stop taking your medication. I will not tell you that. Not my place. Not my place. Not my place. What I will tell you is that's your mind. That's entirely yours. And you know what's going on inside of it. And if there's a way that quite possibly you could harness it and then use this ADHD energy thing that's going on and go and put it into a pinpoint, why wouldn't you? Because wow. Okie dokie. Which makes me so glad. Which makes me feel as though we are opening up our audience. And if you're okay. The reason I hesitated because I actually said your handsome cop husband. And then that felt to me like that was kind of rude. And I apologize. But that is why I stopped for a second because I had to stop myself from saying it. And then I said it anyways because I'm a goof. Anyway, so yes, yeah, actually, awesome. I'm not going to say your name out loud. I know it, but I'm not going to say it. Okie dokie. Now, Carrie K, I had 2 butterflies doing the wild thing this after. How do you know that they're having sex or if they're fighting? That's what I want to know. Because I see it with birds too. And actually, when birds do it, bees do it, even educated fleas do it. When I see birds do it, it reminds me of the way dead people show themselves having sex. So maybe butterflies have sex in a similar way. Because butterflies and dead people, hand in hand. Moths too. Moths aren't so bad. These moth killing things. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Oh, okie dokie. It does that with it's presenting a sadness. Yeah. I had that last month. And please, I'm sorry, not to invalidate your feelings because me saying, yeah, I got this, that's so invalidating. And I apologize like crazy. But what I'm trying to do is actually validate it as a psychic thing because I was inexplicable. I couldn't explain why I was unhappy. And it was deep inside of me. But it was also coupled with sudden moments of joy, of absolute joy. And I believe, and I'm actually hearing it in my head, that the sadness came from when I was completely connected with the collective consciousness. I think the collective consciousness is sad. I think there's an awful lot of sadness now. We have never known so much about what's going on in the world, and we have never been able to be inundated with it in such a huge fashion. If you want to see human suffering, all you got to do is go on your phone. Isn't that awesome? And you have your phone with you constantly. So you have a constant link to human suffering right there in your hand all the time. And because of that knowing, not even because of the knowing, because I actually think you could feel this sadness even if I popped you in the woods, you would still feel the collective consciousness. I kind of think that you are starting to feel everything a little bit stronger. I need to ask if you align your chakras or if you are willing to, if you do not yet. And if you already do, they would like you to actually start to pay attention to your nadis. Those are energy points where the crisscross applesauces happen. I think you actually might be, and I don't, because I actually think you can develop within your clairs, clairsentient, clairvoyant, clairaudient, blah, 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 blah. I actually think you can have one that is your primary and the rest are all there, because I think everybody is all of them. It's just that one's a little bit bigger than the other ones. It's like with your other senses. It's like I'm nearsighted, so my eyes aren't as good. I don't hear very well at all. I hear so much better with my inside ears than my outside ears. But my other senses, I smell, yeah, there's certain things. So okie dokie. Now, this is going to sound trite and silly and all those sorts of things, but I'm hearing this, and I think this might be from your spirit guides. They don't want you to move into the sadness. When the sadness begins, they want you to find ways to make yourself happy. As simple as just actually smiling, actually using your muscles to smile will lift something in your chest. I'm not sure if children make you happy. I love watching children because they're absolute unabashed innocence and they're just being as they are, the naturalness about them. I love children so much. So they're showing me as a source of happiness. And I'm not sure if that's your source of happiness or it's my source of happiness. And that is why I'm seeing that as the example. See, it works like that. It's so weird. I kind of think you know how it works though. So when they want you to replace the sadness with joy, because the sadness is awareness and your mind is aware of things that are going on. And when you click into this collective consciousness, it might go deep into that rather than go up into here. Because when you start feeling the little moments of joy, which I think you kind of might in some way, shape, or form, or you're just about to, stick with those, pay attention to those, be part of those. It almost actually feels like your sternum is lifting. It's spectacular. I get them in my garden more than anywhere else because it's my garden. I get them in my rose garden, which I am building for protection. I hope that helps. Okay, we are again. They went out doing what they loved best. Okay, so that's the butterflies again with the butterflies. I had to say, at least I didn't mow them over and they went out flying high. Okie dokie. So it was butterfly sex, not butterfly anger. So that's good. So the last thing that went through their minds are Earths. No. Okie dokie. It's like TV used to be black and white with a couple channels. Some are color with hundreds. Now, some are color with hundreds of channels. Some pick up more channels than others. Some are black and white and others are colored. Yes. Yeah, I agree. And, okay, so this is a toughie. But no, it's not. It isn't. Okay, because the youth of your soul. Now, the youth of your soul, I actually think there are certain souls like mine. I think I actually have screwed this up several times. I like having an old soul might mean I'm a real slow learner, or I don't pick up on stuff too quickly, or something like that. Or I like getting smacked in the face, something like that. So a young soul, and I have actually looked at certain people and gone, they're kind of a young soul, and that doesn't mean they can't do this. It just means that they have a lot of learning to do. That's all it means. And if you think about it, if you just think about it in a logical kind of way, to be older chronologically doesn't actually mean being wiser. We have some young people that kind of blow me away sometimes with the stuff they say and the way they can access things. And yeah, old soul, young soul. Yeah, I understand that. But I'm using this as a comparison. So even if you are a newer, younger soul, maybe you're actually have a lot of additive to you. Like maybe you come from a real strong DNA strain. So please don't think that if you feel that you're young, that you cannot ascend within this lifetime, because obviously you can. And you may have picked the way that you're living now so that that is what you could do. Okay. All right. He is a handsome cop, and we can't deny that. So we won't deny it. Okay. Yes. Dead people have sex. Do they keep out of the living's bedrooms? I have had dead people ask people to put a sock on the door or to let them know sometimes that they're going to do that so they don't actually walk in on it. They don't, I'm not going to say they don't mean to, because I have seen, and it's always young males, and that is not a judgment, it's a observation. Some will watch, but they'll watch their buddies. They'll watch in a funny, or they might even be saying it to me just to make the funny, because it's hilarious to worry about something like that. So, nope, they're not going to watch you have sex. Your spirit guides might, though. That's one place where I know they're always around. They're always around. They watch you poo. They watch you have shower. They watch you do things, because sex is actually an expression of your energy. Yes, you do it with somebody else, and yes, it's physical, and yes, it can be really, but what it does inside of you is it helps to move things. Uh, I get told to tell people to have sex when no one else is there, if you know what I mean, all the time, because it is actually a self discovery. Because actually, the orgasm itself is a movement of psychic energy. There are actual times when you actually need to orgasm to release something. And if you are one of those folks, and you know who you are, you don't have to say it, who has used masturbation as a tool of relieving discontent within you, or relieving frustration, or getting your anxiety, or getting your mind off of something, you know that that's what an orgasm can do. It can actually bring you to a higher state of awareness. And I honestly believe that's what it's for. I believe it's to get the sludge out. We know that men need to masturbate for a healthy prostate. I believe that women need to masturbate for a healthy uterus. And I think there's a whole lot of evidence to show that women going into their 40s have a lot of uterine problems, and it's like their go-to. Oh, we'll take out your uterus. There's a lot of stuff that goes against the natural things that happen to women. And we're going to do a menopause one. We are going to do a menopause. Maybe next week. I don't know. You guys want to talk about menopause? Because it is the ultimate enlightenment. It helps me sleep. Exactly. I do it for the same reasons. If I can't sleep, I obviously have something going on. So I need to do that so I can sleep, and I can after. I learned that very young in life. As a girl, you're not allowed to tell people you do that, or you're a deviant girl if you do that, or it's like, if you do that. As a boy, if you don't do that, they think you're a deviant. If you do that, they think you're normal. It's so wackadoo, isn't it? This is wackadoo. We have such a weird hang up about sex, and it's like one of the most natural things we can do with each other. It's just who you should do it with, because that's a really big thing too, actually, who you should do it with. Oh my bathroom is already full. Cat, dog, sometimes kids, and now guy. Yeah, you're at that age. Your kids are at that age. Yeah. There was a time when I hadn't taken a poop by myself in years. Because unless you get one of those public bathrooms where you have your own, if you are a mom of young kids, and then if you're a mom of young kids, you have to take them into the bathroom with you, because that's a safety thing. Because especially if you're a mom with young kids, where you're just the only parent, like you and I, Carrie. Yeah. I used to have a tub right across from my ensuite toilet, and my kids, they'd be like, "Oh, goody, you're stuck here," and they would sit on the tub. I hope none of them are watching this. They're gonna be so mad. But I totally get it. Yes, you're never alone. You're never alone. You're never alone. And that's that. It's funny, because I actually think that loneliness comes from the idea that we know we're not alone, but we can't see our friends. Because I really think at least 3 of my spirit guides, I know I know, I knew in a prior life that one, I think we killed people together. We were buddies that way. But by killing people together, I was a Mongol, and I think that I was a Mongol and that my whole family was killed, and I was looking for revenge, and I had one of my spirit guides at my side the whole time. It's actually something I think. So, okie dokie. Now I want to go back here to look at this one from you, Freya. Okie dokie. It's true. Everybody I work with is much, much younger than me, and I have learned and unlearned so many important things because of that. I would never trade it. I love that. Absolutely love that. And in fact, actually, just this week, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. It was yesterday. I was talking to my 25-year-old daughter, and I honestly get most of my advice when I get advice from humans in the world. I go to one of my children because I honestly think they are three of the most amazing human beings that I know, and that I respect their opinions and I seek out their opinions, honestly. And their opinion of me means everything to me. So, yeah, I completely and absolutely agree. And it would make perfect sense to me that those three souls that are all in their early 20s right now chose me as their mommy because they were old souls and they didn't want to have to go through a rigmarole of stuff. They just wanted it pretty easy because I think I did it pretty easy for them. Well, no. What I mean is that I made their psychic and emotional pursuits. I helped them make sense of it, I think. I hope. I'm pretty sure I did it. Okie dokie. I don't at all. I'm so disconnected, and I just really started to try to acknowledge this. I am very much like the tail is wagging the dog rather than the dog is wagging the tail. Oh, is Freya your given name? Because she's one of my favorite goddesses, actually. I'm not sure that there is a goddess I don't like. I'm pretty annoyed with Athena because of the whole Medusa thing. Look it up. That is not women protecting women. But Freya is a very, very powerful goddess, an amazingly powerful goddess, and you might have her name for a particular reason, because that is her mythology. That always sounds so dismissive, doesn't it? Mythology, her gospel, her stories might appeal to you. They might speak to you, kind of like the goddess Brigid speaks to me. I have a great big thing for her, and I'm not even sure why. Named my car after her, which I might get in trouble for when I get up there, but I don't know. I don't think there's rules. I did it in deference. My car is called the Goddess or Brigid because I love the goddess Brigid. She's in bulk. She's Celtic. Um, Okie dokie. All right. Now, okay. Keep them going down. Okay, I love it. Everybody's connecting with each other. And I'm not even sure if you guys want me to put this up here. Uh Okie dokie. So yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that. I actually would really love it if we could do this almost like a Zoom thing. So you guys could all see each other, then write things to each other. But I'd want it through so everyone could see it and be part of it and that whole thing. And I think that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. That's why I'm doing this. I want to do this to create a spiritual place for everyone to meet once a week. You can ask me questions. And I love the fact, like, okay, I am here actually to answer your psychic questions or do mediumship or anything like that for you. But I love the fact that we are actually having a spiritual discussion. I think that is absolutely amazing. Okie dokie. Oh my gosh. Okay. So my spirit guides are actually telling me to give you guys homework, to give you guys something to do for yourselves. And actually, it's like a challenge, but it's not a challenge, because the challenge denotes the idea of competitive and things like that. And that's not what we're trying to do. So here's your challenge. Here's the challenge for you. Prove me wrong. Spend all this week finding your own meditation. Now, finding your own meditation, what the heck could that mean? One of the forms of meditation I use is macrame. I will macrame things for a couple different reasons. One, because it brings my brain to one point, which is what meditation is for. It also keeps my fingers moving because I'm a person who's alive, so I have arthritis. Well, actually, I think arthritis is a psychic disease. I think arthritis, because I think your blood and your psychic energy are one and the same. I actually think that the blood that runs through your body, the DNA, all of that is actually your psychic signature. And I believe that everyone gets arthritis because we don't let our psychic signature flow. I believe that we need to allow our energy to flow. Otherwise, it gets backed up. That's why I have cis, because I have allowed it to get backed up. I am not out of the woods on this. I was just about to say I'm just as guilty as the rest of you. Ugh, what a thing to say, huh? But it is the vibe I want to put out there rather than it is the meaning I want to give to it. I hope that makes sense. So, what we're going to do, oh my gosh, you guys are neighbors. That is so cool. I do Zoom chat with like-minded peeps. That's interesting. Never invited me to such a Zoom chat, but whatever. oh, oh my, yeah. We named a pet after her, but definitely after the goddess. Okie dokie. Because I didn't want to actually say that I have a cat named Freya. She's right there. She's actually one of the strays that moved into my backyard. I have two strays that have adopted me. I am unable to bring them into my house because of the cat that lives in my house will beat them up big time. So they have to live outside. I make them a warm space, but I am always, yeah, it's a part of me. I've always been looking for a place for them to be so that they can be inside in the winter. But oh wow, am I ever emotionally attached to them? But at the same time, because I healed Freya. I healed Freya because I had to, because she's my stray, and she actually got cut, and she had actually worn away all the hair, and I could actually see her skin, and I could see her joint where where her toes meet. I was, oh no, I got to do this, because I thought if I put her in a carrier and take her to a vet, she might actually have a reaction to that, because she is a like she's a kind of she somebody had her at one point. She was abandoned. What's wrong with people? Anyway, so I was nervous about taking her to a vet. So I decided, you know what? She came to you. I actually think that these cats were divinely brought to me. I do believe that. I believe that they were brought to me because I actually think that cats clean up bad energy. I think that cats get rid of negative energies, and I think they protect us from them. I do. I do that. I believe that. Anyway, so I believe Freya does that. So, to my mind, because she was brought to me, then if anyone could heal her, it can be me. So I did a couple healings on her. How I do healings is I get all the energy like Mr. Miyagi in my hands, and I get the big ball of energy, and then I just apply, and I have an intention, and I ask for help from divine forces. With Freya, I asked for Archangel Raphael and Saint Francis of Assisi. Saint Francis of Assisi because they are the keeper of animals, and Archangel Raphael because they are the healing angel that I always use. I use Archangel Michael for protection. Anywho, so, and Archangel Michael to me is a manifestation of the goddess Brigitte as well. Please don't send me hate, but that's what I believe. Maybe they're buddies, or maybe they are one. Anywho, so I did that on Freya the first day. Holy wow, that was a lot. And I've never seen red and black during a healing. Usually I see green because I'm asking for green energy. It's coming from my heart chakra, green energy of healing. But red and black, and now red and black is really when my root chakra. My root chakra, when I open it up, kind of looks like lava going in through the cold lava that becomes black. And so, anywho, I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to do it. And I did it. That cat is walking on 4 paws now. It is by far the most amazing healing I've ever been able to do. And I have tried to heal my own animals several times. I have the most wonderful puppy dog, Griffin, who I know is ready to pack it up. And I've been trying to heal him, but I don't know that I'm meant to. I know I was meant to with this cat. So why did I bring that up? Because of Freya. Because it's magical. And it just came. So I hope everyone enjoyed the story. Oh, thank you very much, Freya. I enjoyed having you here. I enjoyed having you all here. Okie dokie. Now, Costa Rica. No, Campbell River. I I think Newview, you might have to be Comox Valley and higher to see CR is Campbell River. Comox Valley and higher, that part of the island is kind of its own little zone. I did not realize till I moved here. And it's kind of funny. It's like Qualicum, Parksville, Nanaimo, or the oh, your third eye is like a funnel that gets small in the middle and then opens up again in the back. So it opens here and here and then gets small in the middle. And that's actually how they just showed me the island. Yeah, like one end is big, Victoria, like, oh my God, Victoria, right? And then the upper island. I've only been to Port McNeill, Port Hardy once or twice, but I think I need to go up there. I need to know this island more, don't you? Anywho, okie dokie. Now, thank you everyone for joining Psychic Saturday. We are going to be back here next Saturday and every Saturday after that. And if you would like me to tackle certain topics, I absolutely will. I would love to have topics that you want to talk about or Campbell. Oh yeah, Costa Rica would be nice. You're right. Okay, fine. I'll let it go. Or they keep putting the new one on. So I apologize if your comment went up there and you really didn't want your comment on the screen, but I keep absolutely doing that. Okie dokie. Victoria is the butt end of the island. And if you think about it, in your butt end, that's where the energy comes in. And it moves us all the way up. That's interesting. I wonder if the island itself is a metaphor for the third eye. Wouldn't it make sense? Because it's a very, very energized place. There's no place like it. Absolutely no place like it. Amanda, you just came. Hello. Okay, and I was just packing it all up. Do you want to ask a question before I pack it up, Amanda? I'm just making everybody sit and wait. Okie dokie. Yes, we're going to have a Psychic Saturday every Saturday. We are. Oh, wonder if we filter energy like Vancouver Island itself filters energy. Or yeah. Or ignite it. Or take it. Filter is a good word. Or process it and bring it out that way. It's interesting because they actually, there might be something with a house it and Haida Gwaii that is even stronger in some sort of way. Like they're making it look like Vancouver Island is the pancreas and a house it. I always say it wrong. A house it. Please tell me if I'm saying that incorrectly. And Haida Gwaii are like the kidneys. That's kind of neat. They like to put things in the body form for me because I actually see our human bodies as big spiritual tools. Either like they're maps, for goodness sakes. They tell you everything that's going on in the body. It's a great place. Oh, that's okay. Don't want to put you on the spot. I absolutely don't want to put you on the spot. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to ask a question because you joined and because we were just about to wrap it up and you joined. Yeah, sorry. Okie dokie. So that's why I wanted to give you, that's why I put you on the spot, lady. Okie dokie. Now, so if you have a topic that you would like me to cover, where would you tell me that? Where are you going to tell me that? You can message me on Instagram or, oh, I get it. I know. I will put a post up. I'll put a post up here on YouTube and I'll put a post up here on Instagram. And then if you have a topic you would like me to cover, please put it within the comments. Also, within those topics, I might, because there's certain people I know who are experts on things, like Carrie. Carrie can pick up a crystal and tell me what the heck it means. I cannot do that. I can if I know that crystal really well, and I've been working with that crystal. Lapis lazuli. I wear this because it opens my third eye. This was also my aunt's, so it has that double connection. So certain things like that I will get, but if I brought on somebody like Carrie, who is a expert of sorts on something and has a business related to those things, then I can help them. And that's what I want to do. I want to help other weirdo spiritualists I want to help you and I want to help the collective. That's what I want to do. And that's all I want to do. And if I can help you in a better way, let me know. Oh, dimes everywhere. I see them every day. Okay, who died? Or what are you thinking when you find the dime? Who do you think of immediately? Because it could very well just be someone saying, "Hi, I'm good. I'm rested. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I love you." Or it could be someone on the other side saying, "I hear you. I can see the problem you're having, and I am offering you some validation and um resolution." Resolution is the word I get. And I actually kind of think, I know you didn't have the question, but I kind of think that possibly somebody from the other side, possibly your mother's mother, might be worried about you a little bit because there might be a whole bunch of turmoil going on inside of you. In fact, what I see inside of you is, in all the Michael Bay movies, when everyone, like, something blows up and you see the characters just walking away from the big explosion. From what I understand, that's not entirely possible. It's not possible at all. If you're that close to an explosion that's right behind you, you will actually feel it in your insides and you can actually explode on the inside. And that's what I'm seeing with you. I am seeing an explosion on the inside. I actually see your spleen where your stomach's supposed to be, your stomach where your spleen is, your butt. I don't even know where your spleen's supposed to be, to be honest. I think it's around your pancreas. But anywho, that's what I'm seeing. So if you're seeing a lot of dimes, you actually might want to go, what? Or if the first person that pops in your head is usually the person who left the dime, and the first reason that pops in your head will be the reason. Or think about what you're thinking about when you find the dime, or what is happening, what's going on in your head. Because the most one of the examples I can have of that, yes, I can be thinking of my dad. My dad just leaves a dime, but my dad, he's like got it going on with this whole communication from the other side thing. It's been enough years, right? But and he knows my rules and things. But when I'm in a bad mood, when I'm getting myself out of character, I actually hurt myself a lot, or something will happen that will try to capitalize on my bad mood. And I know that in some ways, sometimes it's actually something that's trying to capitalize on my bad mood and make me even angrier. Or sometimes when I hurt myself, it's my spirit guides going, yeah, remember who you are. You don't think that way. You are allowing yourself to be less than what you are. So I'm not saying it's that for you, it's that for me. But when they know that you are doing something inside and something happens, and because it even could be your higher self, it could be you helping you. But no, it's not. This is a dead people thing. This is totally a dead people thing. So think about what you're thinking about when you find the dimes. Think about who pops in your head when you find the dimes, because there's something like that going on. And it's a kiss on the cheek. It's a love. It's a hug. It's a something being left out or something. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, it's love, 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 love being given to you. Yeah. See, Garden Hose says it too. Passed on loved ones, sending you dimes. Yep. They used to do pennies. Now they do dimes. And you can assign them, because I have. And I think everyone knows that. And Daddy's quarters. Daddy is pennies and dirty loonies. And I can't believe I called my dad Daddy. I didn't call him Daddy when he was here. I do it now. It's so weird. You felt the hint. Good, Carrie. You were supposed to feel the hint. Black tourmaline with coiled copper in a resin pyramid, I do believe, is for activation. Carrie, double check me on that one, but I'm pretty darn sure. Oh, you are. Good. Okay, dokie. Well, astrophyllite. Okay. Carrie is answering Newfie's question. I'm going to give it to everybody. Inflation. Okay. Not quite sure. I have many Afrolite. I love it for spiritual peeps. Great. I use it for growth, healing, astral travel, astral. Said it funny, and more. Crystal work different with your vibes. Yes, crystals work different with your vibes. It's actually, you know what they just showed me? They showed me perfume. Certain perfumes will smell different on different people because of the body chemistry of that person. So we have to look at crystals in that same sort of way. And If you listen to the telepathy tapes, and I highly recommend you listen to the telepathy tapes, then you will know what I'm talking about with autistic kids. If you listen to those telepathy tapes, some of those autistic nonverbal children talk about hearing their mother's crystals talking. They hear that of crystals. Isn't that wild and crazy? It just kind of reiterates it. It also reiterates some things that are going on in a certain person's house who has a lot of crystals just below where she sleeps. Hint, 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 hint. Okay. Anyway, alrighty then. Every time I try to leave, I come on back. I'm not sure what the inflation is, but you guys have your own thing going on. And I have to add this to that too with the black tourmaline. Black tourmaline to me, grounding, 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 grounding. Black tourmaline will help you go and stop listening to all of this. And also with the coiled copper, copper is something that I'm not even wearing any copper today. That's an odd thing lately. I wear so much copper now. To me, copper is a conductor. It actually conducts and makes more because psychic energy is so much like electricity. It mimics the same sort of idea. And your blood is kind of like the wires in the wall, and it moves the situation all around and ignites other things. So the copper, I believe, actually is igniting that. And I actually see a much bigger need for copper. And I am finding out that we are seeing more and more copper. So yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like how now they're using oil wells in Kansas to tap out hydrogen. And I honestly believe this is what I believe. I believe that hydrogen, because the tectonic plates have moved, so now hydrogen is being created below the Earth's surface and now being mined and used because it's a cleaner energy than oil. And I actually think that the Earth itself is showing us a cleaner energy to use. Yes, I do. I actually do believe that. Prove me wrong, please. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I have one that's an obelisk and form and a pyramid. Yeah. I have a pyramid as well. And actually, just holding this pyramid is. This is part of the sacred geometry ideology. And Newfie, you actually might want to look into sacred geometry very strongly because you're a musician. And musicians are really good at math. Even if you don't think you are, you are. You are. And sacred geometry actually might speak to. I know sacred geometry isn't math, but we put them together when we program ourselves. That's cool. So our mind sees them together. That's what I believe too. Okie dokie. Okay. Vitamins work differently with your body chemistry, and crystals work differently with your vibration. Ah, yeah. I actually hear body chemistry as well. And that's from them. That the crystals actually work with your body chemistry and your vibration as well. And I actually see a correlation between where you were born and the things that actually work for you for medicines and things like that. Even if you don't live anywhere close to where you were born, I actually think you choose to be born on certain lands for certain reasons. I think everything means something. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, funny. My son said this years ago, hydrogen was the next thing. Your son is very smart and he's young. I know they see things that other people don't see. Your son is absolutely right. I actually believe he's absolutely right. I think hydrogen cars is where we're going to. Yeah, I do though. I still hold on very, very strongly to the car and Back to the Future, where Doc was using organic waste. He was using garbage. They were calling it garbage, but he was using banana peels and things like that, and that's what he was powering the DeLorean with to travel through time. I mean, wow. So yeah, and if this actually is all a great big game that all of us are playing, what if the collective consciousness itself decided, okay, hydrogen? What if the collective consciousness itself decided something? That's the thing about the collective consciousness. It can actually make something happen that we do or do not want to have happen. So think positive, please. We pop in for a visit. I'm in Korea. Okay. Yes, because crystal. I use math daily. Sacred geometry is totally full of equations. Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? I just look at the shapes because when I see the equations, I weep slightly into my own eyes, which is kind of funny because I have actually done the books for a couple of businesses. And I have this total fear of numbers, but I don't have a fear of numbers. I have an implanted idea that because I have a vagina, I can't do math. That has to be words. I'm 53. I was very much part of, I think maybe my generation was the end of that kind of programming. Maybe, hopefully. I can't imagine now they say girls are words and boys are numbers because that's what they did when I was a kid. I can't imagine they get away with that kind of stuff now, but what a detriment. What an absolute detriment. It's actually so ingrained in there that I have to tell myself, no, that's not true. You actually can get that in there. Oh, interesting. Hopefully, we will go back to pulling energy from the ether. Think Tataria. I have to look up Tataria. I can't even think Tataria. Tataria. I have to look that up. Tataria. I have to remember Tataria. That's why I'm saying it so many times. Sorry. Tataria. This makes me think of Tara. Tara. Yeah, which Tara is a goddess. Tara is the earth. Okie dokie. All right, next is just Newfie and Carrie connecting. Okie dokie. Now this time I'm going to try to leave again. And who knows? Maybe we'll just strike up another conversation. But okay, so again, I'm going to make a post and you guys can tell me. You guys can even comment on here if you'd like. Yeah, you can comment on this one and tell me what topics you would like me to do for the next one. There will be a next one. I will be here next week. I will be here next week unless, yeah. At this point, I'll be here next week. I have promised that I could possibly be in Duncan next week at this time. But that is actually dependent on the owner of Wishes. So there's a little advertisement there. I might be in Duncan at Wishes next week, but I haven't heard, so I don't know if I'm going to. If I'm not, I'm going to be here. And I will let you know because I love connecting with you guys. I love doing this. I love being able to talk spirituality. I want to talk more spirituality is like my favorite thing to talk about. That and my kids. I love the Tartarian era. Tartaria is old civilization. Huh. Okay, I have to look it up. I've never even heard of that one, and I actually studied Western civilization in university. And the Tartaria rabbit holes. Everybody knows about this but me. Okie dokie. Yeah. If Carrie is okay with it, Newfie, I will pass on her information to you, but I gotta hear from Carrie first. You know that. No problem there, I'm sure. Okie dokie. Thank you so very much, everyone who came to listen and talk and be part of our Psychic Saturday. We will be back next Saturday. If not, we will be back the Saturday after that. I think we'll be back next Saturday. I would have heard. So at this point, we'll be back next Saturday. Maybe we can even just do it in Duncan from Wishes. That would be really cool, actually. It's a metaphysical store, and to my mind, it's one of the best metaphysical stores on the island. The energy of it, and actually, Wishes was the metaphysical store in my mind when I wrote this. Samantha's Folly, which is my novel. My novel is about a metaphysical store with people who live upstairs. They run the store. It is also a foster home. So it's a home for people who need each other. Just like every home in the whole wide world. The stories are about all of these ladies and men that live and work at the metaphysical store and the things they go through because we're all psychics. And this book is about the fact that we are all psychics. I like to teach through characters and humans. So instead of an information book about being a medium, I wrote a book about people who are accessing psychic energy. Okie dokie. Now, homework. The homework is please meditate. Meditate in the way that works the best for you. How you will know it works best for you is you try it and it feels good. Please don't try to push anything. Please don't try to follow any rules unless you love rules. If you love rules, find some rules and actually follow those rules. Then, okay, I'm just going to put this up so everyone knows I'm doing homework time. Okay, knitting is meditation. Walking is meditation. Staring at a fish tank is meditation. Sitting by a body of water and staring at the water is meditation. Anytime you concentrate yourself on a pinpoint on one thing and reduce other stimuli, you are putting yourself into a meditative state. To put yourself in a meditative state is to know yourself better. Some folks call it mindfulness. I don't care what they call it, just as long as you are internalizing your energy and all of your information and your attention into you, because you are the most important person in your life. And if you don't do things for you, you can't do anything for anybody else. And how many times do you want to do this? Do you want to do it 100 million times like I have and have to keep learning, keep learning? I'm exhausted, for goodness sakes. You want to do this right this time. I actually heard right the first time, which I'm pretty sure there's very few first timers on this one. So meditate, find your way to meditate. I chakra meditate. I started off with guided meditations. I really love a good guided meditation because you don't have to do any work. You just have to listen. Chakra meditation, if you're already doing guided meditations, that's you aligning everything, creating your information superhighway. Or an active meditation, walking, knitting, macrame, or looking at a fish tank, or yeah, that's interesting. They're showing playing music, which is very, 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 very meditative. I would do it under the guise of just meditating. I would do it under the idea of playing the same notes over and over and not having them move, because music is a journey. But then again, so is a guided meditation. That's what they actually just showed me. So it's not up to me to tell you. It is up to me to communicate what they're communicating. So I will see you all next week. And I hope that this coming week, you have the most amazing week coming up. I hope a miraculous thing happens to you. Remember, you can comment on this to tell me what topics you would like me to look at. You need to meditate all week long because it'll just make your life so much better. And 3, everybody has to tell themselves that they love themselves at some point today. You have to look in the mirror and say, I love you. And then tell yourself something amazing about yourself. Something amazing about yourself. So I'm going to say, I love you, Bobbi. And you bring light. Because I kind of tried to. All right. Have a good evening.